Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. Had some issues with the audio here at the start, so I'll probably edit that intro in post, but not that big of a deal because we have more important fish to fry. We have patch notes, preliminary, so no job changes, unfortunately. This would have been a big topic for this show, but we can't have such things, apparently, because we can't be trusted with them according to the development team. But we still got plenty to talk about, so let's get started. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Happy. Of course, joining me is Sly, who I'm going to have to give a special shout out to for the show, because not only did he do show notes for this show, but he took the entirety of the patch notes and put his thoughts on the right-hand side, so I can just scroll through the patch notes and have all the talking points in sequential order. He did a lot of work, is what I'm saying, okay?
It really was not that much work, honestly.
It's more than zero, really Sly, wasn't. So it's a lot of work, because that's how much we normally do. Well, that's how much I normally do.
Well, thank you.
I'm just showing you my appreciation, okay? I want them to know.
Appreciate your appreciation.
Good, I'm glad. And so this was going to be just a two-person show. About 5 minutes ago, before the show started, one by the name of Magickmann may have shown up in my chat, and on a whim, I went, "Hey man, you want to join us?" And he said, "Yeah." So he's here now.
I'm here now. Yeah. I may not have pants on, but that's the best way to do
well,
a
that just
podcast.
means you're here.
It means I'm here.
Yeah,
ready.
Yeah.
It must be time to do a podcast. I was getting ready to fire up my stream on the other channel, do some Immortals Phoenix Rising, and I was going to listen to you guys while I played before my stream started a little bit, catch like the first 20 minutes of the show or something. And I was like, all right, got this fired up. I came in, you were talking about pants missing, and I was like, if I taught you anything, Big Daddy, it's that you don't wear pants for a podcast.
I don't like that entire
Hey, you want to do the show? If I call and you answer, and it rang, and I was like,
you did not take that long to make that decision. I clicked call, and before it even had a chance to look like it was ringing, you had answered.
Oh, I did. That's what I do. I actually sit around and wait. I'm like, I wonder if Happy needs anything. Does he need anything? Like, should I call him? Like, do you need anything? That's what I do Monday through Friday.
I've got all I need right here. This is it.
Byrne is old school. Oh, no, I'm just old. Just old.
Yeah, no school. Well, I guess if you said you're teaching.
How are you? And how are you, Sly? It's always good to be on State of the Realm. I love being here.
I'm good. Looking forward to 5.4. And the next week's a mess because 5.4, Cyberpunk, December really fucking snuck up on me.
Right?
I wasn't expecting it. Yeah.
My host and I were like going through the list last night on everything that's coming out next week. It was like, Jesus, I'm gonna have to quit a job. Good thing I'm on furlough.
Damn it.
It's the first time anyone's ever said that as a good thing.
Right. Oh my God. Thank God my employer told me to go home without pay. Oh shit. Next week is so busy. Thank God they did. I really appreciate it, guys. Medical insurance. Nah, screw it. I don't need it. I just need the time. Thank you.
Now I'm sad.
Yeah, I go back in January, so we'll see.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
And I got to start my own
That's true.
project,
It's furlough, not never again.
I've wanted to do for years, so finally got around to it.
That's can always pull some positives out of it.
Yeah.
Well, before I get started, we just got to do our quick sponsor read. Just the standard sponsored read. We've actually had some beginning of the show sponsors, which takes me and Byrne back to some OG days. We're used to that read at the start of the show.
This episode of State of the Realm is brought to you by Audible for a free 30-day... No,
we had a lot of that.
It's not Audible.
No, our sponsor is not Audible this week. No, it's SteelSeries.
It's not Audible.
No,
don't take anything away from SteelSeries. It is not Audible.
No, it's definitely SteelSeries, and they do giveaways. We do giveaways with them every month, and they've been sponsoring us for years. So they're hopefully gonna keep doing that because you guys support them and you support us and you support the sponsor. It's a 12% discount code and a giveaway and all sorts of things. And for some reason, they're okay with my sponsor read sounding like this, so I'm going to keep just, whatever. They're happy with whatever's going on, so that's what's going to be. So thanks to them.
Just deliver the bare minimum, and if they're okay with it, then...
I could have just said their name. That would have been bare minimum. Hey, guys, yeah, SteelSeries. That's all right.
Yeah, it's not like boxing. We don't have to, wear shorts with SteelSeries printed on it or anything.
Well, we're not wearing pants at all, so that's a good thing. Yeah.
True.
Definitely.
I guess I got to get that ass tattoo. SteelSeries.
Just the logo. I don't think your butt needs to say SteelSeries on it.
Hey, Hey, you stay away from
That's
talking
the
about
A.
my
That's the A750 model.
My butt is not A50.
A750s. There you go. That's the A750s. That's all it is.
Steel Series. I mean, I do have a new channel. If you want to sponsor my butt, not the channel, my butt, you can. You can. It is up. I mean, it's totally up for sponsorship if you want to.
We're not giving away his ass, just to be clear. The giveaway does not include his ass.
No.
That's taken.
We're not giving that away. High price tag.
Yeah, definitely above the $79.99 giveaway limit.
You're so dumb. I just hit.
This is still part of the sponsor read, by the way, guys.
I just hit buttons on my Stream Deck to change the shot here.
I haven't even had the whiskey yet. That's the funny thing. I haven't had anything yet. I'm just here for this. All right.
We've been on the 3-host screenshot for a while. Let me hit the Stream Deck button because I just did a podcast earlier today, one yesterday. Now I'm not in control.
Yeah, you're not in control at all. You have no control here. It's fine.
Relax and read.
That's it.
Sweet.
And also, thank you to our patrons for sponsoring the show. You guys will get a longer shout out later, but be sure to check for your names in the top right corner of the screen, as their names will be scrolling the entire show. So you guys get not just to read, we get to read you the whole show. That's how it works. Unless you're on audio only, in which case just use your mind somehow. You'll figure it out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Now, before we go into the patch notes, since we do have Byrne here, I think it's fair enough to ask him his first impressions of the live letter last week, and whatever he took away from that, things he's excited about, things that may have disappointed him, and how he's feeling about that overall. So, get us caught up before we go into the reading portion. Byrne, how are you feeling about last week?
All right. Plug for full thoughts. Check out.
No, go ahead, do it.
The Relic Grind on Ready Check Radio. So just go to Ready Check Radio, RAIDEO.com. You can get all the socials, the Twitch, the schedule, the YouTube, and all that stuff. Check out my hosts there, Kronos and Tarkoth. Fantastic people. And we give all of our in-depth thoughts. So I like the trailer. I wasn't surprised that I was going to like the trailer. Your video was like half an hour just on the trailer. I had to make a point in our show yesterday to go, guys, we don't want the show to be picking apart the trailer frame by frame. And so we plugged your video on that show instead. We were like, we're going to spotlight one or two things. If you want a full depth in a trailer analysis, go check out Happy's video. So I like the trailer. You know what? I'm so happy that I learned how to play Triple Triad. I mean, that was fantastic.
Well, you play a real card game, so I'm sure.
Right,
that was
I
nothing.
do play Final Fantasy, the trading card game. Absolutely, absolutely. Over on the stream too, so you can check that out. But yeah, that part was amazed. Like, who got up at 6 a.m. Eastern because there's such a Final Fantasy 14 nut, and they had to watch this live and wanted to learn how to play Triple Triad. Whatever. I thought that was ridiculous.
Not me.
It was a good nap mid-show.
I thought, like, normally if you go into that big a in-depth discussion on something, it's because you're changing things. So I was like, okay, they must be making like big changes, maybe the 5-star rules, and nope. Oh, we're implementing draft. Oh, okay, and a new tournament. Oh, okay, sure. So that was disappointing. Other plus sides, though, I did like that in Titan Unreal. If you get your ass bounced off the ledge, you're out. I like that they didn't rescue that like they have in some recent iterations of other fights where you're able to be rezzed. I thought that was neat, and I agree with them that does kind of take away the fight if you allow people to res there. So please remember, don't break those frickin' jails while they're on top of a landslide, please, because I will start broom emoting you if you die.
Well, they'll be at the bottom, so they won't. Yeah. So you won't be able to broom emote.
Don't worry, we'll get the broom in there. I will purposely throw myself off the edge and just start typing broom in chat.
It's really paintbrush.
Eden is looking interesting, and I mean we're going to talk. I don't want to get too in depth with these, but just as far as the live letter goes, because a lot of them we're going to be revisiting here in patch notes. Eden looks interesting. Cloud of Darkness looks interesting. The Cerberus-esque kind of dog-ish whatever boss. Okay, cool. I'm all for that. how did you guys? I didn't get a chance to get your two takes on this one. The final boss of Eden. I've seen conflicting translations on that final boss. And I don't know if it shows anything in the patch notes. I actually haven't had a chance to read through anything but glance at those today.
We got the name of the last encounter, and it's very telling.
Okay, cool. Because the translations were showing that it was a new design.
Yes, Tetsuya Nomura's original design.
And some of them were claiming that it was a whole new boss by Nomura. So I tended to believe that it was probably somebody we're familiar with under a new skin, not a whole new thing. So we'll see when we get there.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, I actually enjoyed the live letter. I thought the back half of it was maybe a little lamer than they have been lately. But all in all, I like Yoshi P. I like sitting there listening to them. I like that the February event is going to be live translated. And as I said, that'll probably last about as long as Yoshi P stays on script, which will be 8 minutes, maybe, before the poor translators are losing their minds. So all in all, we've always kind of rated these back on XIV Reborn Happy. I'd probably give this one like a 6.5 to a 7. Wasn't one of my favorite live letters, but I think that's because the back half of it was relatively weak and almost filler. Watching the materia melding, watching the
Are you kidding me? I was most excited for that. I was like, I need to see how many he loses.
Like 3 minutes after seeing it, I was done. I didn't need to sit there and see him have incredibly good luck.
I was so mad when he was like, oh, I was supposed to take like 80 at once, and I did it in like 3.
Right.
Cool.
Right. And he was like, yeah, this is setting the wrong expectation, and it definitely did.
Yeah, because he was even like, of course my melds are good on the fake character. Not my real one, but on the fake one, of course my melds are fantastic. Right. Which is I feel that big time. All right, good. Yeah, you're right. We're definitely going to get into some stuff that has some overlap with the trailer. We'll be referring back to it. Oh my God, Sly, I love these notes. I just scroll down and I'm like, it's beautiful. I love it, Sly. You understand you've now set a precedent for all patch notes.
Happy, this is how podcasts are normally done, right?
You never took the patch notes and put it all along the side.
No, I didn't put the images in there, but they were fully laid out as far as the discussion points.
It was written. That's for sure. It was there was a plan. But see, when there's a plan, then you don't get never great really conversations.
Stuck to it, but
yeah. Do I look like someone with a plan? Yes, actually.
Actually, in fact, you do.
Oh man. So we can't really. There's nothing really to say about the first couple of pages of the patch notes because it's just like, hey, there's Eden, hey, there's Sora of Warlit. It's like just names of quests and then question marks and whatnot.
Hey, here's the question marks for your main scenario.
Yeah. The first few pages are always nice and easy, but similar to the 0.2 patch, we are actually getting another Yorha filler quest. We got this in 0.2. We're there. Okay, Sly, listen. I'm gonna be the optimist here. All right, I'm gonna be the optimist here. Because at least when 0.1 ended and went into 0.2, we had no idea what it was going to be about. We have a better idea of what the 0.4 quest will be about based on the way 0.3 ended. There's more room for we might want to take care of some stuff before the raid comes around again kind of thing. It doesn't mean it's going to be good. But
Fuck all that. Take care of it when it comes out. I don't want filler. I don't want like a single quest. A single quest that probably takes less than 5 minutes and does absolutely nothing. And that's what I think this is going to be. It's going to be a single quest, 5 minutes. You go talk to people, and what did we learn? Not a damn thing. Because save that shit for the next patch when you finish your But nah, you want to slip something in there. Motherfucker, for what?
I just look at it as this is one less quest I'll have to do before I get to the raid. So you know how with Evilise they had like they did have a bunch of filler quests for Evilise before you got to the raids. I think they've just moved that to the even numbered patches.
Something.
Yeah, this could mean something. It could. This could mean something. I just look at it as taking the filler quests that they did in Evilise and just putting them in the even numbered patches so we have less quests to do to get to the raid when it comes out.
Again, this is just I have nothing against Nier. I have nothing against Yokotaro. But this is just turning me so off from Yorha. It's not even funny.
Well, Yorha itself has turned me off from Yorha, but I actually love the idea. I love the idea of filler quests because I always said that it'd be great with Eden. I feel this way about the 8-man raids too. I would love quests in between the patches to push the story ahead in ways that just to keep me invested in it, just keep me interested in it, to move it along, to move some of the portions along that aren't directly tied to the encounters. I love that. It's unfortunate that it's happening on the one raid series I just don't care about. That's it. That's the only thing I don't like about this, is that it's the Yorha quest. That's it.
Yeah, but Sly, is your problem with this that there's not a lot there, and this feels like, hey, we're just reminding you that this is a damn thing, or is this like comparing it to Ivalice, which Ivalice was
no, it's not
really
even
in depth.
It was,
as far as backstory and lore and quests, and this one, I will agree, does feel a little more sparse than that. But I don't know if it's like Crystal Tower was kind of, less than Ivalice as well.
We got a lot more out of Crystal Tower.
We did, in the respect that 2 expansion packs later, we circle back,
paid off a little bit.
Right, and we kind of broke off and came back to it. But I don't know. I like, do you honestly feel like it has been shortchanged, or was Ivalice just more in depth and so it's feeling shortchanged? I'm not necessarily sure which one's right.
Well, I feel like it's not even a fair comparison to draw between Yorha and Ivalice. So like it has nothing to do with that. The very last quest I did for Yorha, I can't even remember it. That's how unremarkable it was. I remember the fact that
they left.
I remember the fact that I did quests and then like it just
ended.
It just ended. Yeah. There was, I didn't expect any build up or anything, but it just dropped off. And I'm like, wait, did I miss something? Is there somebody else I need to talk to? No, Sly, that's it. What the fuck you mean that's it?
And Happy, this was something you and I talked about years ago on Game Breaker when the game first came out, was cross promotions, cross events, collaborations with other Final Fantasies, with other Square Enix products and things like this. And, during the 15 event and the Lightning event and all this stuff, we're kind of like, okay. This was like, I feel like Yorha never really fit. Like, even in the most abstractive ways possible, it felt like Ivalice fit because there were references to it outside of the Ivalice campaign or the Ivalice raid series. Yorha just literally felt like, we want to do a collab with Nier, but we don't want to do just a collab with Nier. I don't know. It's always felt a little disjointed to me, and I think I said it last time on this show. Every time I do that raid, I just want to go play Nier. I don't want to do it in Final Fantasy 14. I just want to go play Nier.
I said even way before, like, once Yorha was first announced, before, Shadowbringers, I'm like, something's off with this. I feel like something's gonna fall through the cracks, and a lot fell through the cracks.
Yeah. So. Like I said, I'm giving
maybe this one quest will bring it all back for you, Sly.
Here's the thing for me. I've not liked any of the Nier plot or story in 14 so far. I'm going into every raid not expecting it to be, underwhelming or for it to not be good. It just keeps happening that way. So I'm going to go into this with optimism and assume that, because here, no matter what, the takeaway I have from this is not, will this make Yorha's story better? It's that I like the format of having quests that may make individual patches on unlocking the raids feel too dense, spread out over an entire expansion. So the story's being told every patch. That format is the thing I want to take
but to
away.
Sly's point, there's literally one quest here.
I'm okay with that. I'd rather have some checkup than
how
not.
dense is this one
Bro,
quest?
imagine if the wine quests from Ivalice were in the in-between patch and not in the main patch to unlock the raid. That's how I think about it. Like, they could have taken the denser parts and put it apart. And it just keeps it on your mind. So now but the problem is, it's just Yorha hasn't used it well enough. That's my biggest takeaway. It says Yorha didn't use it well the first time. I don't know if they'll use it better this time. I like the format. I just want to encourage the format.
Yep.
That's all I want to do. And I hope, I'll go into this with optimism, that it'll be good. And I did predict that this would happen, Sly, if you do remember. I did say, will we get another even-numbered patch Yorha quest? And I knew it.
You were right by 1.
There you go. And it's, you know what the sad thing is that we get that, and we're like, oh my god, that again. And then it goes to the most exciting part of the entire patch notes for me, personally. Because this is a payoff I've been waiting for years. So there's going to be a new role quest that follows up on the story with Ciela. If you haven't done all the role quests, highly advise doing them because it's very important to the lore that is in Shadowbringers. It is not something I would advise skipping. And if you don't, you won't be able to do these new quests. On top of that, after you do the new role quest, we have a new series of quests called the Void Quests, which appear to involve Beck Luke and Unokalhai and Ciela. Would be
which
what
you
it
will
appears
have
to
to have done the role quests to do.
Yes. Yeah. What's interesting is that you need the extreme versions of the primals here, not the normal modes. You need the extremes in order to do this quest, which is not hard, but it's still strange because those aren't part of the story.
Yeah, it's older extremes. You're not going to have a hard time getting them if you don't have them.
It's Ravana, Bismarck, and the Fiends. That's it.
It's all of them. That's all of the Heavensward extremes except for Thornton.
Oh yeah, it is. Thornton's not in there.
Yeah, Thornton's not in there, but those are all of the because they're actually all part of a quest series. The extremes, they're all part of like a linear quest series. So yeah, that's this has got to be the payoff. This has got to be Unokalhai's been sitting in Minfilia's room for 4 years. This has to be the payoff. It has to be the final payoff. Oh, and Nidhogg's also not in there too. Good point.
Yeah.
Good
point.
I can't be the only one who's saw this, and I was immediately like, they told us about it in the live letter, kind of, but seeing this, I was like, yo, that's it. I'm ready. Bring on 6.0. Bring on Unokalhai. Bring on everything. Just come on, make it happen.
You're a beast. I'm not. You know, I'll go. Of course, I'll go do this, but whatever. I take more of the Sly stance on Yorha with this one. Okay, cool. Yeah. Something else for yeah, sure.
You sound way more excited about this than he does about Yorha.
That's true. Like I'm actually looking forward to playing this, but I'm nowhere near as excited by it as you are, Haps.
It actually says you only have to do Bismarck and Ravana. Others you just need to unlock. Oh. Wait, and Chronicles of... Okay, I'm not sure I understand. Regardless. Dude, this is the most exciting thing for me. Dude, he just sits in that room, and every patch we walk back and we talk to him like, hey, I'm doing stuff, and he's like, oh, you fought Elidibus. Cool. I'm like, I met someone else from the 13th. He's like, oh, that's neat. I'm like, you have to matter.
The quest ends before you get to the extreme fight, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think he's saying that Thok and Diabolical are extreme, but the other three are not, which is weird because I could have swore demonic duplicate.
Likeness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Simulacrum and a demonic duplicate.
That's weird because it says players must first complete the role quest and the Chronicles of a New Era. It doesn't say unlock; it says complete.
Right, but I don't remember. Let me go look up a fiendish likeness real quick.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Like, is fiendish likeness the actual quest to complete the extreme? Or
I get what they're saying.
No,
yes, So when you finish the quest,
yes,
when you finish the quest, it unlocks the extreme, but you don't need to beat the extreme to finish.
Yeah, because a fiendish
quest.
Likeness is basically to just go claim a gift.
Yes. Now I get it.
And then the next quest is you win the bow break or when the bow wakes.
Because that's how all extreme quests work. But for some reason my brain didn't process. Yeah, that's even weirder. Why even have? All right, whatever. Either way, Unokalhai. That's all I care about. We're getting all the New Game Plus stuff, a bunch of job quests, Shadowbringers quests, role quests. Even these brand new Void quests are in New Game Plus instantly.
Yep.
But no Sapphire weapon yet.
That kind of makes sense, though.
I still want Sapphire Weapon in there. I wonder how they'll even do New Game Plus for things like Bosnia and Eureka. Like, it's not even possible. Or you just go in and like talk to the NPCs and shit. Because those are not traditional in terms of the way those quests are completed. So I'm not sure. They added Save the Queen, Blades of Gunhildr in the Unending Journey. You know, I remember going in there looking for it and having a really hard time finding it. So I think that's probably there for a good reason. I can tell Sly was really excited about this next one because he put notes for this one.
Oh, yeah. Wow. That is 3 exclamation points right there.
It is. And it's 5 dot. It's 5 dots, 5 periods too. So
that isn't a lot of ellipses right there.
Yeah.
That is a lot of this. Oh, I see what you were going for.
Yeah.
Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, fabulous prizes. Okay, that's enough DMCA. All right.
He beat me to it. The words were on the tip of my tongue.
That's enough of that. 6 notes. That's it. No more. No less.
That's 7. Seven's the unlucky number. Yeah, I mean, this is
the one where you're.
You guys are ridiculous. The shifting oubliettes. We knew about this. This isn't new information. We just get to see a big golden frog in a like a casino outfit, I suppose. A bellhop.
With a candy cane.
Yeah, he's in a bellhop outfit with a candy cane. Which is, I didn't see the candy cane the first time, but now I'm seeing it, and I don't know why he has a candy cane. I guess
that's going to be the
December?
screenshot I send to people when they start telling me something about how real Final Fantasy 14 looks. Oh my God, look at how real I'm sending them that. Really? It does? It does?
Tell me how real this looks.
That one. Yeah. Yeah. When does this happen at your house for the holidays?
I mean, that doesn't happen. You don't walk around in a bellhop outfit.
It's none of your damn business. Shush.
To be fair, he's not wearing pants either. So as far as I know, he could be any of us.
Wait, I am wearing pants. What are you talking about?
Not you, the frog.
No.
Well, now I don't think you're wearing pants either because you were very defensive about it. But
you protest too much.
So,
okay. Sure.
Anyway. Yeah.
Anyway, what are we expecting? New money makers, new mats.
We actually see the gear that's going to be a part of this later in the live letter. Or later in the patch notes, and it's also on the website. Yeah, in the screenshot with the paintbrush, whatever they're wearing. I'm pretty sure those are the new sets you're going to be making. So new stuff to make, new glam. That's always what it is. It's always some cloth or leather or a minion. Yep. We know there's a minion because we saw it in the live letter also. It's like golden. Was it a golden frog? No, it was the golden beaver or the golden
beaver.
Yeah. So, and then maybe some new other crafting recipe mats. But yeah, that's always exciting. I love treasure dungeons. One of those features they put in years and years ago that has just survived the test of time with just basic updates.
Kronos, my co-host yesterday was like, I like the old system better. I felt like, I had more control. And we're like, what? They're two totally random systems. What do you mean you felt like, I don't know, I just thought I left or right. I picked the doors. You want
to know what's funny about that door picking? It has been extrapolated that which door you pick almost doesn't matter. And that it's going to put you through an RNG check regardless.
Exactly my point. And he was like, I know it's totally random, but I like the old system better. Okay.
All right. That doesn't, what you feel has no meaning, but that's fine. Oh, man. New housing stuff, new furnishings. I've gotten to the point where I have to care about housing stuff. Sly, that's what your note says. Yeah, it's because you're doing first Saturdays, right?
Yeah, because I'm doing first Saturdays, I've gotten to the point where I have to actually start paying attention to this shit. And like as far as like what I'm seeing right now, nothing really catches my eye, but I figure I'm gonna need it eventually. So I actually, have to start paying attention to this and maybe, getting some stuff for a future event or whatnot. Like for example, I had to go to the online store to get some Christmas decorations because I wasn't thinking ahead like in 2015, 2017 about like doing first Saturdays at the FC house and we'll need decorations. Now I gotta, pay attention to seasonals and, get in bulk before, people, put their stuff on the market board and, they're on the fucking drugs because they want like 8 million for a wreath. And I'm like, yeah, I know it's not available but at the same time, you're on drugs. I'm not paying $8 million for a Reap. $1 million for a fucking Sentinel is reasonable. At the same time, still pushing it. Fuck the ornaments, the little light up ornaments. You want 3 million a piece for each? Yeah, y'all are on the drugs. Fuck's wrong with y'all?
On the drugs. You guys have been smoking the weeds.
The weeds. On the shrooms. Yeah, exactly. Like, the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Listen, man, all I care about for housing items is the showcases. It's funny because so they said there would be some preloaded showcases, and you can clearly see that with some of these. There's one that literally looks like it should take you to the Square Enix store. It's got like the Moogle slippers, and it's got like Carbuncle and all those things. And you know what? This is the next step to just launching the Square Enix store. And this, I'm talking about the merch store, not the Mog Station, the merch store.
Yeah,
we're one step away from that. But they also said you'd be able to load them yourselves with your own items. You could get an empty showcase and put your own stuff in there. I'd assume it'd be tied to retainers, like mannequins are. But I'm just going to fill my apartment with only these. That's the only thing going in my whole apartment. Because it's literally just one
display
lamp.
Case after display case.
My apartment has one lamp on the floor. That's the only thing in there right now.
I have a medium house, a personal medium house that only has the entry floor decorated in any way. The basement and the second floor don't have anything in them right now. Not because I don't have the things to put there, just because I'm lazy. I'm not like horribly into housing and stuff like that. But I was horribly into it enough to buy one.
Speaking of which, don't forget auto demo turns back on the 8th.
Yeah, it turns back on. Yeah.
So you better walk into your damn houses. I'm gonna remind Mel because she has a house still. She just logs in to prevent it from going anywhere. She's like, "Oh, I got the email. All right, time to log in." She keeps her sub going for that house, man. She's all about it.
We called that when they started this, though, Happy. We were like, what a racket to get you to keep a sub. And there are literally people, like you just said, that is the only reason they keep a sub or re-up every 40 days so they can get ahead of that 45-day timer.
In other news, Big Shark.
Shark's cool.
I
like Shark.
Yeah.
Spectral Shark.
Yeah, it is. Oh, you're right. It is. I didn't even realize that till you just said that it was a spectral shark. I blocked a lot of ocean fishing out of my mind, and I forgot one of the items, one of the spectral was a shark. Okay. Well, hopefully we get Mamora in there.
Yeah, there's a new aquarium fish. It's a spectral shark.
What about the Mamora? When can I put that in an aquarium?
There you go.
Yeah, fuck off.
No, I need him imprisoned. I need that fish imprisoned, Sly.
No.
It's not to show off. I don't care if it's a minion. I need to put him in the tank that he's too big to move around in, like all the rest of them. I need to punish him.
You're so mean.
No, the Mamora is the mean one.
Look at all of these notes on housing shit.
Well, I mean, the next one is fuck flower pots.
I kind of
so.
Yeah, I kind of have to care about it. Like This is just this like side Peaches thing, like a Peaches side note. Why the fuck don't we have poinsettias in game? Like we have every other flower.
We have cat minions and they're poisonous. That's why. I don't know. I'm just taking a guess.
So flower pots, cool. Anyway.
Yeah, cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's the funny thing, Byrne. There's no PvP in these notes at all. If there was anything for you to light a cigarette to, it would be these triple triad notes. Because that's PvP. The tournaments, right? That's the closest thing you'd get.
Yeah, as long as you have at least one other person.
That's
the rest
that's
will
a
just be
stretch.
filled by NPCs.
Do you not consider You don't consider fighting NPCs in the exact same format, PvP? Come on, that's the best we can get in this game.
I do. Oh yeah, I do. Don't you worry about it, friend. Don't you worry about it. I got things covered. But please don't. This is the best show note ever. I'm going to read this one out loud. Haps, this is all you.
I don't want to spend more than 5 seconds on this thing.
But please, dear God, don't dedicate 30 minutes of the show for this, which is the absolute best show note I think I have ever seen, Sly.
Listen, I think it's admirable that they want Triple Triad to be better. but they didn't tackle the stars, the 4 and 5 star. You have the cigarette already. When did that happen? I looked over and it was just there. You lit that before the show started. You've had it just sitting there the whole time. Just breathing.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I didn't even see it. I didn't even see that happen. I think it's admirable,
Slick.
but here's the thing. They took the wrong approach to Gold Saucer. They should have done Chocobo racing adjustments.
You know what? I'll give you that. I will absolutely give you that. I would have been fine with that. I would have been fine with 30 minutes of that.
What if they had tournaments for
Yes.
Chocobo racing every 2 hours?
Then we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Exactly. New courses, some updates to the playability of it. Open tournaments every 2 hours. Come on.
I don't know
Yeah, that's all
the
I'm gonna
last
give
time
you.
I
That's all
messed
I'm
with
gonna give you.
Chocobo racing though. Like I've messed with Triple
When
Triad
it first
more
came out?
recently. Yeah, I've messed with Triple Triad more recently and Lords of Verminion more
Shit, I don't
recently.
even remember
than
when I
Chocobo
touched
racing.
Lords of Verminion. Jesus.
I'd just do it for the MGP if I actually need MGP. It's like 10,000 MGP to just finish a match in like 60 seconds 3 times. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, Mahjong, I can't really offer any. It's just quick matches. They're half as many hands, pretty much. So if anyone, I don't know anything about Mahjong, not enough to even remotely think of having a.
Yeah, but that was short and sweet though. Like,
Yeah, it took them 5
to
minutes.
the point. Took them like
Yeah, actually,
less
I
than
would have
5
been
minutes.
I would have been more okay with a tutorial.
No,
on
they did that
Mahjong
already.
because
The first when they
I know,
when
I
they
know
brought
they
Mahjong,
have,
they
but
did the same thing where they spent 30 minutes explaining how
I
Mahjong
know.
worked. So
I
we've
still to
had
this
that.
day still don't have it down. I'm like, what? Okay, fuck it. I'm gonna go run a random because it's less aggravating.
Yakuza kind of taught me Mahjong, so I was in a way kind of prepared a little bit.
Have you played this one? Have you played Like a Dragon?
Yeah, I'm on it right now.
Oh,
boy.
fantastic!
So fun. So
Fantastic.
good.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, that's not in the passion.
Yeah.
No, it's not. But if is that the turn-based one?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Well, I mean, hopefully Beastmaster comes out and it's just Pokemon, so we'll have turn-based battles. Perfect.
There is a thing. There is a thing in Like a Dragon that is Pokemon like.
Well, we might hopefully
Yes.
we have it in 14, so I can do shiny hunting in 14. Then I never have to play Pokemon again. That's it. Just gotta hunt that shiny Velociraptor in the Shroud for my Beastmaster. Then more triads. No, that's trust stuff. They're just fixing the UI on trust. They're moving all the old. So this is actually a big thing. You don't have any notes on it, but I definitely want to bring it up because it's a system I've been involved in for the last 17 weeks. And that is the faux hollows or the fox hollows, because I think it's faux, but they say fox because of the fox that we,
Yeah.
yeah. It's moving to Titan. We knew this already. You mentioned earlier that they're not making any adjustments. They needed to do 2 things really to fully realize Unreal. Raise the amount of leaves you get and not make it only 1 fight for 17 weeks. They've got half of that formula down because they raised
did
all
one.
the leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They did one.
I have earned 725 leaves since it came out 17 weeks ago. The mount is 600. Yeah. So
I remember talking about that months ago on the show, where it was like, wow, these I either give us more leaves or decrease the costs. And yay, well, I mean, we got 1 out of 2 ain't bad.
yeah, the swords being 15 and the box or the coffer being 25 and 35, that's pretty substantial because there are weeks where I only get 25 across both of my mini games. So the fact that I could just go over the swords twice and get 5 more than that, even when I'm definitely
Right.
Yeah, that's substantial. That's substantial enough. Now the other problem is it's only 1 fight, and they're capping item level at 435. So I don't understand why they don't just leave Shiva in and like do 1 week Titan, 1 week Shiva, 1 week Titan, 1 week Shiva, and then in 5.5, 1 week this, 1 week that, 1 week this, and just go through it. And then get rid of them all at the end of the expansion, start over in the next one if they're so worried about it. I just don't understand why they don't do that. That's one of the biggest things I want to see changed. And following that was violins. I don't know how they went from A to B. They literally went from Fox Hollows to string instruments. Although the double bass.
Yeah, the violin, the viola, the cello, and the double bass.
I gotta admit the double bass, though.
Yeah.
The double bass. Come on.
See, I'm partial to the cello. My mom played cello for years and years growing up. So.
I have no musical talents whatsoever.
Ever since seeing Phantom of the Opera and seeing the performance band, like I kind of have a new appreciation for what they do. Like,
oh no, don't get me wrong. This is fantastic.
Yeah,
it's incredible what people can do at this. I can't contribute anything.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I can do piano. That's it.
I can't do anything.
Play piano.
I have no
play
musical
baritone.
talents. I'm just saying that they jumped from one very different topic to the next.
Oh yeah.
They're like, yeah, all these changes to the Fox Hollows and Unreal and all that, and by the way, violence. There you go. I was gonna say, what are we doing now? Every time you turn around, I get afraid.
No, that was just a drink and putting Yakuza back on the Xbox Series X.
Okay. Sly,
all on the up and up.
I see you were ahead of me on that's definitely the League glam. The ones from the painting.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh no! In terms of the emotes, like, where do you think we're getting?
Don't forget, Ishgard's not going to be out till 0.41, and I assume Ishgard's usually pretty popular for emotes. I think Ishgard just for all of them, to be honest. Because they're all just different painting emotes.
They put like one or two in Gold Saucer.
Don't forget about Fox Hollows. I don't think it'll be there. I don't think they didn't give us any indication of what's going to be in there.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, what is your deal with the paint? Why don't you like the paint, Haps?
Well, because you know what's going to happen, right? People are going to be like, Emmerich looked at me this way, and they're going to paint all over the ground, and it's going to be just fucking orgasm jokes the whole day. Literally immediately, everyone went down that route upon it being announced. So
because we're all fucking degens.
Yeah. Yeah, straight up, it was just like when Emmerich looks at you that funny way, and then he just paint blue on the ground, and I'm just like, I don't understand how this works. That's why there's no white.
It's just pink and blue. Like,
your point doesn't stop people from doing it. They don't care what color it is.
Go see a doctor. Go see a doctor. Like, I would immediately be like, honey, it's been fun, but I gotta go to the hospital. I gotta go to the hospital if shit came out blue and pink.
Just a medical condition.
Right. must have eaten a lot of strawberries. I don't know.
Yeah. Because Ishgard's not important. See, I feel like one time in Ishgard they actually showed us. No, you know what it was? They showed us something on the live letter, and then it wasn't until 0.41. It wasn't until Ishgard came out. But this one's probably not the case. There's probably more emotes or things from that aren't listed here. But I don't remember if they showed us any emotes. There's definitely minions they showed us, but I don't know about emotes from the live letter or anything. So this is probably Ligia or MGP. I'm gonna guess Ligia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
New idle stances for change pose. Okay. Not. That's fine. All right. So Sly actually has notes about Matoya's Relic.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, because it's been a while since. Well, it hasn't been a while. I mean, Heroes Gauntlet was pretty good. I loved Heroes Gauntlet, not to the point where I, want to go back and consistently do it. I mean, for us, Haps, it's more of you do a dungeon once and you get whatever you can out of it, lore wise or whatever you want to, and then that's it. You don't really, do it. And Byrne, I'll throw this to you too. When was the last time you were really excited about a dungeon?
Honestly, I don't know if I really get all that excited. I'm more excited by the 8-man content than dungeons. Don't get me wrong, by the way. We talked about this on Relic Grind. Dungeons are my favorite bit of content in MMOs in general, not just Final Fantasy 14. And I think it's something that they do well, but I don't want to sound disparaging because I'm not trying to be disparaging. I like Final Fantasy dungeons. I like the way they play. I like most of the lore in them in most cases and things like that. But I just think that is probably one of the biggest areas of improvement that the game has. The biggest opportunity for improvement that the game has is the way dungeons work as far as the roulettes, the number of dungeons in a given patch cycle, the types of dungeons. Now, we did see in that Yoshi P interview that, or with the design team interview, that they're talking about this one being a little less linear. Think more Hawk Manor but even Hawk Manor's, let's be honest, that's still linear too, right? You just happen to have to go back to the beginning real quick.
Yeah, I think of it more like Swallow's Compass, where you do that lap around at the beginning and then come back. Yeah, that's very much like the basement of Hawk Manor.
Yeah, and we spent some time on my podcast talking about this, where like I always look forward to the dungeons and I always look forward to the boss mechanics, but that's really it. Like, I don't know the last time a Final Fantasy 14 dungeon, even on an expert roulette, gave me any type of challenge, even if I was under geared because I hadn't played in a month and was trying to catch up real quick. Like, even though they're not straight lines, they're straight lines, and they're just always, even from day one, reduced to grabbing a bunch of pools, burning it all down, get to the boss. Even with safeguards built in to try and minimize that, it still ends up being that. So even though the dungeon changes, the stories change, the quests change, the bosses change, the experience feels the same every single time. So while I love that content, I think it is Square's biggest opportunity for improvement inside Final Fantasy XIV itself. I'm interested in this one for the content. I'm interested in it to see what they do with the bosses. I'm interested in it to see the Matoya / Y'shtola interactions that are going to go on as far as the story here. But ultimately, when can I start Eden? It's, sure, I'll run that, but I want to get to Eden.
Then just don't do the MSQ first.
Right, right.
There you go. Yeah. I still don't look for anything more out of the dungeon system. I wouldn't want anything to change about the current existing one dungeon that we get. If anything, it'd need to be a system built on top of it. Obviously, people refer to Mythic Plus very frequently. Mythic Plus doesn't work in 14 for a number of reasons, one of which being our item level jumps aren't high enough to really fit in another state of progression in between dungeons and something else, not in a meaningful manner that would actually get people to run it at the very least. So something else would need to happen, and I'm okay with the idea of something else happening. But the biggest thing I've realized is the number of times I actively say I don't like a system. Like, let's say normal mode. I thought normal modes are too easy for the 8-mans. The amount of people I see who come out in defense of those systems, people are normally quiet, just enjoying the game, playing it, and aren't like the louder voices, ends up being a surprising number of people. And I shouldn't be too surprised, because I've done the Duty Finder enough, and that, you know what, for some people, these dungeons are hard. I can say that about going through the Duty Finder a few times. For some people, these dungeons are not face roll, and I've accepted that at this point. And if I get people that are like that, I just slow my roll and do my best to get us through that dungeon and then move on with my life. So, for everything I want to challenge me to the point of absolute masochism, I understand there are people who have no interest in that. And that number is way higher than anyone wants to give it credit to.
Yeah, I just think there's an opportunity there, both in design, in execution, and I don't know exactly, like, off the top of my head how you would do it with gear or rewards or stuff like that, but when's the last time you got on and were like, you know what, I feel like running a few dungeons tonight, and it wasn't because you were trying to hurry up and make your tombstone cap for the
week. I know if you see, the thing is, I never use it for tombstone cap. I just do the hunt because I get way more rewards out of the hunt. But there are some times, there used to be more so for me, because when desynthesis wasn't so bitch mode easy, I would just run dungeons occasionally and desynth the stuff and be like, okay, I made a few 100K. That was it. I just rolled greed or need on whatever I could and just desynth it. I was motivated by that. I am not anymore. Most of the time I am not. Sometimes I also just want to turn my brain off or play a job I don't normally play. And that I can do in the hunt as well. So it's just it's diminished more and more. That's really all it is.
I'm looking forward to this one, but I agree with you, Sly. It'll be short-lived.
Yeah, it will be.
I can't wait to get in there. I want to see it. I want to see the quests, and then, oh shit, I popped this one. Okay, whatever.
There we go.
Whatever.
We then go into Castrum Marinum, which I'm sure is going to be called Castra Marinara within minutes. And you're still hoping for a Ratat Oversoul? Because I don't know about that, man.
Yeah, boy. He deserves it. He needs some redemption.
He deserves it. They gave us... I just want to point this out. We went from... You're saying, listen, I agree that it's a likely choice, but to think they would be like, oh, man, the leader of the 7th Legion whose battle data we extracted from the binding coils, who was influenced by Bahamut and was bent to his very will. Who should we follow that up with? Remember that one Roganin who died in that like years ago? Yeah. Rattatan.
Yes.
So just
I'm keeping this meme alive. You can't tell me otherwise. I'm sorry. Not until I see who it is.
Hey, I do still think it's cool that we're going somewhere that has been in the game since basically day one, and we've never seen it, and that stuff is still being utilized. I like stuff like that. Like, years go by, and you're like, oh, I wonder, like, what is that place? I mean, I know what a castrum is, and I have an idea of what that probably looks like inside, but... And then here we are, all these expansions later. Okay, we're going to go there. I like little nods like that. I'm a big fan of that type of stuff.
Yeah, I am. Although this looks to be in the submarine that's in its like docking bay, more so based on the trailer. But either way, it's still there. And of course, Emerald Weapon in a submarine. I mean, what more can you really say about that? Somebody was like, "Yo, there's going to be a transition phase that's like Byakuya, except we're swimming through water. We're trying to swim through rings." Like Superman.
Well, we did get the hint of what? 2 distinct phases. Very different.
Well, like Ruby Weapon. Ruby Weapon has 2 distinct phases. So we very much expect the same formula for Ruby Weapon, where there's a break, a checkpoint, and then the second half of the fight. I expect it'll be exactly like that. So I'm hard-pressed to think it would change. I'm just curious to see how Emerald ends up panning out, because the animations in the live letter were so smooth. That rotating AoE was so smooth. And I need to see that.
Yeah, they were.
And then Titan.
Oh boy, the one we are not gonna forget, like the people who've done Titan.
I'm gonna make sure everyone remembers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So in comparison to Shiva, because when we did Shiva Unreal, like people realized, hey, this check is pretty fucking tight. Like, you have to be on your shit. How tight do we think this one's going to be?
Man, how tight do you think it is in Shiva when people can actually be resurrected and get back up? How tight do you think it is when they can't? Ooh, boy.
Oh, boy.
The original Titan... So none of the Realm Reborn
Sorry, it's just Sly was like, how tight do you think it was going to be? And I almost just, like, instinctually reply with how tight you want it.
And I like how you thought it was you laughed about it enough inside that you had to tell us this what you stopped.
Yeah, I like sometimes I just think funny things. Just
see, I was gonna just say Titan. That's what I was gonna say. There you go. There you go. Oh, I got 2? Come on.
Yeah, you got 2.
All right.
You got 2.
That's fine. I can't remember the last time someone got the double snare. All right. It's probably gonna be rough. The DPS check for the original isn't actually that bad, but I can say the same thing about Shiva.
No, it's not.
But let me just put it this way. I've had 4 people die and beat the DPS check in A Realm Reborn and stay dead the whole fight and just finish the fight with only those 4 remaining people. In A Realm Reborn in 2.1.
Yeah. How far along were you in that fight though?
The whole second phase, pretty much.
You were past Heart then?
Yeah. We were past Heart.
Okay, so yeah.
Now that's not to say that'll go here because this is min item level. Like it's 435, and that's like really freaking low.
True.
But Titan was carryable by like 4 or 5 really good people before. I think you'll probably want 6 or 7. You probably have room for 1 or 2 people to be literally dead weight off the side of the arena after Heart phase, and you'll probably be okay. But I would still prefer for that to not be the case.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm afraid.
So what's gonna get everybody this time? I figure weight's gonna hurt like a bitch.
People are gonna forget to heal fucking tumults. People are just gonna die to the boom, 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 boom. And tanks are not ready for Titan. Tanks who have only played Shadowbringers are just not ready for Titan. He has no telegraphed tank busters. So.
No, doesn't. But jails are just going to be a blast.
I swear to God, if you break out somebody during a fucking landslide,
just hit your knockback resistance,
DPS.
smiley face.
Stop DPS if you see a landslide under a jail. Stop.
As somebody who
And
cleared Shiva every week for 17 weeks, I'm fearful for doing Titan every week for 17 weeks. Fearful. Deep in my soul. So, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot. I might actually have to tank this. I normally heal these. I might have to tank this. I used to tank it back in the day for the same reason, because I was like, I need to know. I need to know everything's going to be okay. I need to know. So... That's all I gotta hope for.
Jazz in chat just told me to wait for Ramuh. One of my co-hosts wanted this one to be Ramuh. I said, "You're out of your damn mind."
Ramuh's definitely going to be the worst of the batch. People think it's going to be Titan.
Back that one out as late as you can. Just back that one out, please.
People be like, Titan was the hardest primal in A Realm Reborn. Ramuh be like, look at my beard.
Hold my beer.
Yeah, hold my beard.
hold my beard.
Yeah, hold my beard. So, yeah, that's going to be terrible, especially with no Titan pet. So, that's... can't wait. Also, the Ruby weapon
still
mount.
to this day one of my favorite fights in the game, though.
Yes.
So I am looking forward to this one.
I'd argue Ramuh Savage has easier orb management than Ramuh Extreme. Ramuh Savage, it's just like your tank needs to have 3 stacks, everyone else needs 1, and you're done. On the other one, it's like the tanks need to get 3, and then they need to tank swap every minute, so that way they make sure they don't die. And then you need to have 3 extra orbs for the people doing the tethers, but then both people grab 2 each, and now neither of them actually have 3. Now there's no orbs for the tank swap that's coming soon. It's way worse in Ramuh Extreme than it is in Savage for the orb collection. And on Extreme, the more orbs on the field, the more damage he deals. So it's not gonna be a good time when Ramuh eventually comes around. That's
and it will. Don't worry.
That's gonna be bad. Listen, I'm just gonna be excited that I can buy my Ruby mount now, because I have enough totems to buy the Ruby weapon mount. I have enough totems to buy the Seed of Sacrifice mount, and I'm gonna get enough totems to buy the Emerald weapon mount because I will not win it. So I'm confident in this. I'm getting all my mounts this expansion. And now we get into the thing I'm looking forward to most.
Of course.
And that is Eden's Promise, which has got to be confusing for people who don't pay attention to Live Letter to see a Cloud of Darkness when that rolls around. They're going to be like, why does she have Final Fantasy VIII music? This doesn't make any sense.
That was the thing, like watching Yoshi P play it, we were like, Cloud of Darkness and FF8 music. This is going to confuse the shit out of some people.
Oh, yeah. Definitely going to confuse some people.
Every time I see this Cloud of Darkness, I think of the scene in the city with her in Laguna, where he gets a leg cramp.
He gets a leg cramp all the time, though. Every time he sees a beautiful lady, he gets that leg cramp. And he sees Cloud of Darkness, he's like...
Damn it.
It is a sexy model. Sexy model, I'll give it that.
Laguna just he doesn't know any better, all right? But in normal mode, there's not much to say about. The trailer does have some quotes that appear to be from the E12 boss when they're mentioning, we will take your memories from you and farewell, I think it doesn't say Warrior of Light. She says something else. She says Champion of Light or something along those lines. There you go, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think she's not even talking to us. I think she's talking to Reen, in all honesty. Bringer of Light. There you go. Yeah, I think she's almost certainly talking to Reen and not us in that case. So, normal mode's going to be great, but I had to skip all the cutscenes day one. Servant of Light. There you go. I knew it was some generic term of light. Something of light. It's fucking who cares? All right, it's of light. That's all that matters. Now, we get the name of the different turns when we look over to the Savage side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And those are very telling. So,
well,
they're very telling.
Are they?
They're pretty telling.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Cloud of Darkness is Umbra. No one's surprised by that. Linny doesn't tell us a whole lot. My headcanon is that dog thing is Griever. That's my headcanon. That's Final Fantasy XIV's Griever right there. Then we get I don't know what the hell an anamorphosis is, so I should probably Google it real quick. Because I don't know what the fuck that is.
I was gonna when I looked it up, I was gonna say Chatternook, but we've already fought Chatternook.
A distorted projection or drawing that appears normal when viewed from a particular point or with a suitable mirror or lens, or a gradual ascending progression of or change of form to a higher type. That's also fairly telling now that I've looked it up. Because that sounds a lot like some situations we have in Final Fantasy VIII. Yeah, I think Mitron's going to be a big problem here. I think that's the takeaway I get from all this. But Eternity is the most telling name. Because everyone's looking at this and they're being like, oh, there's got to be a shit ton of Final Fantasy VIII references. And then Yoshi P goes, this is Final Fantasy XIV. There won't be that many. But we don't know how the sarcasm, if there is any, is not present. We don't know if he's like, who knows, But in Final Fantasy VIII, it's a very fitting term for something that involves time compression. So, Ultimatia's goal was to compress all time and rule over eternity. So.
That's been, and I'm sure it's been yours too. I mean, Ultimacia has been the prediction for a while now. Yeah. And I still, to this day, don't see anything that dissuades me from that. The only thing that started to was seeing conflicting translations of live letters. Seeing, a new look or a new boss. And even after parsing through that for about 24 hours, I decided, it's probably just a new look. So I'm still, nothing's dissuaded me away from Ultimecia being the target here.
Original design is the term that was used. And I'd like to point out that when we had Ivalice, we had original designs for Yasmat. We had original designs for a bunch of the Ivalice bosses. So, gotta at least... I'm still in the boat that it's at least Ultimecia inspired. Maybe it's Mitron. Maybe it still is, but it's like a very Ultimecia-esque goal. It's still like that ultimate idea. But, Ultimecia.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we'll find out. We only have a few days left to find out. So I'll have the answers to that soon enough. What is this? Oh, yeah, so Sly wanted us to take a break and remind people about the 24-man coins from the Puppet's Bunker. That won't make me do it. Coins unlocking will in no way motivate me to do any more Puppet's Bunker or Copied Factory.
It's a thing, so if you want, sure, go ahead and farm up points. It's going to go towards 5.5 gear. Why not? Sure.
I've got this great thing that I want to tell you guys about. It's called the Hunt. Now, what happens when you do the hunt, you kill an A rank in Shadowbringers and you get 40 sacks of nuts. Now, for 2,000 sacks of nuts, you get an upgrade mat for your accessories, and for 3,000 of those, you get an upgrade mat for your armor pieces. And that's in 5.5, the same time as those coins start coming out. So what you do is, you don't do this, and you do that instead. Okay. Or you just raid. Or, raid.
You go get yourself a bunch of sacks.
Yeah, just make sure. Here's what you do. You get all these nuts, and you go unload your nuts every once in a while, and then you go get more nuts.
Good plan.
Why is that so loud? Why is that so loud? You gonna answer me?
I think we're just gonna let that one go by, Proto. We're just gonna.
All right.
We're just gonna let the nuts flow.
There you go. I don't have one to press for you, so you can press it for yourself.
Yeah.
Press it for yourself. Don't do the applause sound.
Mine was better, I guess.
Don't do the applause sound. I need a tumbleweed rolling by.
No. Nope.
Applause.
The applause was for me. My nuts were better.
There you go. There you go. That was, yeah. Sounded like TV static. Well, it's going through a microphone. It's not connected to the source audio of the stream.
It's not. That's going through a mixer out to you, but
yeah.
Oh, well, it's still,
sound.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't sound like this.
Discord doesn't like you.
No, comes through a lot better when it's sad trombone.
Radium, I will. Thank you.
That's a second cigarette. That's not healthy.
Well, I mean, we just finished nutting, so.
I had a feeling that's where it was going, so I wanted to acknowledge it. Yeah. What is this, a fucking 80s movie or something?
Oh, my.
Now do the hunt. There you go. That's all I want to say.
There you go.
Then they just go into like all the tombstone changes. This is pretty normal. Every time we get like a new even numbered patch, they're like, hey, you know, the old ones are coming out, the new ones are coming in. Here's all the rules that are changed, and here's all the conversion rates now for like all the dungeons. Now they drop this and this and that. And it's literally like 5 pages of the same thing. We get the same 5 pages every time. I hope you guys are capped on Allegory and Phantasmagoria, though, because that's going to be some money.
Yep.
Get them crafting mats.
You know what I tried to do? And I hate the development team for being so smart. I hate them. I was like, oh, shit, you know what I'll do? I'll do Wondrous Tales. And that'll have tombstones on it. And they fucking changed it to Poetics this week on the fucking Wondrous Tales. I did Wondrous Tales for weeks. It was like, here's Allegory. Here's Phantasmagoria, 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 Phantasmagoria. They fucking changed it to Poetics this week. I was so mad that and it's not just 500 Poetics. It's 500 Poetics for 0 lines, another 700 for 1 line, another 1,000 for 2 lines. Disgusting.
You mad, bro?
Yes.
He mad. He big mad.
I was like, I'm so smart, and then I was dumb. And I don't like it. I don't want to be
I think you were still smart. The developers were just smarter.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks for the compliment.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
You're welcome. That's
man.
what I'm here for, Big Daddy. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Don't call me Big Daddy after you just finished nutting. I don't like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all set that shit up. I wasn't part of that shit, so go ahead.
You're here, though. That's the problem.
I'm here. I have to hear it. Yeah.
My son is in chat. Please stop.
You gonna learn today. You gonna learn today. No, Dad. He don't need to know that. Please stop. All right. Anyway, they brought over some quality of life for Delubrum. They're adding. So this was something they didn't do for Eureka, not all the way, but it was definitely something that we asked for quite some time. In Eureka, when you wanted to like mess with your actions or anything, you wanted to like go through what you had to zone into a zone and like go through the thing in the zone. And then sometimes you had to then leave and then go back out and like rejoin part. It was really annoying to try and coordinate BA if you happen to get into an instance and it was immediately like, you know, if the conditions were already met, you just had to go. So they're adding all of the like NPCs from inside of the base in the southern front, and they're putting them in Gongos, so you can do all that stuff on the outside before going in to Delubrum, which is good because Delubrum isn't part of the southern front. It is just its own NPC in Gongos to queue in. So I was really happy to see this.
Same.
I just don't want to have to go in every time I want to like do anything. Like I was like, oh, I want to look at my actions. I want to do this. I got to mess with my. Nope, I don't have to go in there for that anymore. That's it. Another thing I'm happy about is field node exchanges for coins. They're just unlocking more and more ways to get coins, which is doing worse and worse for Castrum. Worse and worse. The more and more they open up coins, the bigger the problem they have with getting people to do Castrum.
Yep.
And I don't know what the solution is outside of like really nerfing it or giving it echo, or I don't know what the plan is for them. But
I was just gonna say nerf it. I was just gonna say nerf it eventually.
I don't know. Because, don't get me wrong, you can get the field notes inside and trade them for coins. But that's if you get field notes in there. Like, I've gotten a field note from there occasionally. And that's it. But I think you really need
your field notes?
What happened?
Have you finished your...
No, I still need that stupid fucking asshole that I still didn't have the whole time. What the fuck is that thing's name? Yeah, I can't even remember their fucking name. I can't... It won't drop.
Angry.
It won't drop. I spent days in there trying to get it. It won't drop.
You're talking about
Dyunbu. Yeah, Dyunbu. Dyunbu won't drop.
So angry today.
I am. Because there's so many things they haven't done, and my time is gone. It's gone forever. It's been 20 years this year that this year has taken, and they've wasted it on Dyunbu.
Gotcha.
I originally read this backwards, and I thought it was coins for logs, which I think they'll do. I think they'll eventually allow you to exchange for the logs somehow, just to unlock the lore.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's field notes for coins. Just makes me big sad. I just want to complete the collection. There's not even an achievement for it. I just want it. Now, an interesting change that Sly made note of here that I was going to make note of either way is they made a change to a Logos action. Not a Lost action, a Logos action.
Logos action.
Yep.
Sacrifice had its status effect change. It no longer gives you Doom, it gives you the Sacrifice effect, which does the exact same thing, but is denoted differently. And while that's a change to just the text and description, that has to be in preparation for something from Delibrum, right?
I'm thinking it's preparation for a Delibrum. Or something in Delibrum. Yeah.
But why do they need to point out a difference unless they're planning on using a Doom mechanic in there and they don't want you to have both?
They have to be using Doom somewhere else.
Yeah.
That has to be the reason for this change.
Yeah, because the Sacrifice L is not... We don't have a Sacrifice in Lost Action, so it implies maybe they'll give it to us, which would make sense given the restrictions in Savage with Resurrections again. But they even said the restrictions might be a little harder than BA in terms of Resurrections. I'm not sure how they... I'm not sure how that's gauged. I'm not sure how they're measuring that. Maybe it has a lower chance of, I don't know. I don't know what the idea is. But I'm scared and excited at the same time.
It's Doom incoming somewhere.
Yeah, without a doubt. Then they go into like gear and some unlocking some gender restricted gear so that anyone can wear it. They also this crafted gear is actually one of my favorite sets in the game, but it's updated. It's Blue
These
Spirit.
Look pretty badass, actually.
It's actually the Blue Spirit set and the Blue Spirit weapons, which I think is one of the best looking sets in the game. Kind of a really flying under the radar kind of set. And these are updated to be like white crystals instead of blue crystals for things like that. So I'm a big fan of this.
Still a shame that the Eden gear is going to be trash.
I don't see. We've seen it. I don't think it looks bad, but man, when you have Soulsborne pieces and a Blue Spirit update, of all the crafted sets you could update to make a new set for crafted, this was one of the best looking sets, and then it just makes the Eden gear look like.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Soulsborne gear. Mainly.
Yeah.
Ooh, Hammer, good point. I hope when you dye them, the crystal dies too.
Well, you're not gonna get your wish.
Yeah,
I'm hard pressed to believe that's what's gonna happen. You know, one thing that kind of
pretty awesome though.
It would be, but I have low optimism here. One thing that I actually like that I never really thought about, but when I saw them side by side, I kind of made me laugh. The renaming of all the script tokens.
Yeah.
Rowena's token.
That was the most. It's easily the worst naming convention of like any sort of thing in the game. And then finally they're like, what if we? And they're like, this is gonna sound crazy, but what if we just call them color disciple script token and not Rowena's? And then
this happens though. Like in a lot of software that I design for work when I'm not on furloughed, it's you start something and you make a second or a third one, and so you stick to a naming convention. Then when you have 5 or 6, the naming convention is just absurd. So you drop the prefix or drop the suffix. So This probably, there's 6 now, so this probably should have happened 1 or 2 ago, following that type of logic. But yeah, I mean, this is...
My favorite is that they misspelled folklore in the notes. It says Golklore.
Oh my god, it does. in the before column only.
Yeah, only in the before column. It says Rowena's token regional Golklore.
Golklore.
I don't know what a Golklore is. Sounds like a mystical creature.
Let me tell you some of our family's Golklore. That's awesome.
And this is kind of, I think right now as we're going into the sections after this is one of my favorite sections of the patch notes every patch. This is where we get all the random little quality of life things that they either told us about in like one of the live letters and we maybe forgot or weren't thinking about, or things we just didn't know were happening. And one of those is the ability to purchase 2 rings. Finally, they're fixing that problem that they created. Because when they changed it so that you bought pieces that were automatically augmented, they ran into an issue where you could only buy 1. You were just always 1 ring short. So they're fixing that here, but it's specifically with 2.x and 4.x. So I'm wondering why, I guess 3.x is it different? Or they just don't, I don't know. Because it doesn't mention 3.x, and I don't know if that's, I remember why. It's because Heavensward's part of 2.x now. I'm not used to that. Because they consider a part of 2.x. Yeah. My brain I just realized that as I was saying it out loud that's even weirder now because it just goes from 2.x to 4.x. Yeah, that's why. I don't know. My brain just didn't pick that up until I started saying it out loud. Okay, that makes more sense now. Never mind. Moving on. Sly's note. This took way too damn long when it comes to the higher and lower the verticality indicator on gathering. But better late than never, Sly.
How long are we going to deal with verticality problems in terms of our map? And
well, not much longer, it would appear.
Movement.
What else is there to fix now? I mean, I think gathering nodes were the last...
Were they? I'm trying to think of anything else.
You already had quest markers. Those already had the up-down.
The biggest problem, I think, is the retroactive fitting of old things, but I'm not sure if that's an issue with quests. I don't know if it's only like Shadowbringers quests. It's been so long. I don't do quests. I don't. They're just there. All right. Aetheryte icons. Yeah, some zones might still have that issue, I'd imagine, but not super big on that. I guess that's because I know the zones so freaking well. So that's kind of tough. But yeah, that's a big one. Again, this is the whole section of quality of life. They go through the gathering quality of life stuff here. They go through the warning for overfishing, which is not a big deal for me. But, I've been locked out of the fishing on the boat in ocean fishing. It's been like I cast my line twice too quickly, and it's like, no, the fish are suspicious. And I'm like,
yep, they don't want any part of you.
What the fuck? I'm in the ocean. What are they suspicious about? I mean, there's a big ass boat here, but they don't know that. Yeah, but
go somewhere else. 5 feet to the left.
But that's a big quality of life thing there. The fishing log, they told us we'd be able to get more information. All the collectible stuff, the changing to the way the system works, the UI update, the usability of your actual
is slick.
Stats. Yeah.
It is slick. Sly's right in the notes here. It is. They did a really nice job with this UI for the collectibles.
It's all in one. It's all inclusive. It's a little dense because they tried to stick everything in one menu compared to the old menu. Some people might not like the amount of space that it takes up, but it's also you don't need your hotbars anymore.
You want as much information as possible, though.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of information, but some people are a big fan of things that look tidy. And while I think this actually looks tidy and it looks neat, I think that it's still really busy. So
yeah, but I also think that we're coming at it with the we already know this system. And so the screen and everything on it, this could be a little overbearing for somebody just learning going through the whole process of learning all of the aspects of this system. But once you're through all of that, this is a tidy looking UI.
The best thing about it for a new person, though, is that they at least are learning everything in one spot. They know exactly what numbers they're working with under what pretense and what the result. Everything's
well, and they are making changes to this too. To the system as a whole. It's not just the UI. So maybe saying we know it isn't all that fair right now, but we generally can look at this UI and understand most of what's going on here.
And that's important because if you look at it and you don't know, then they've made a mistake. not the person.
Right.
They've made a mistake in terms of their design for it. This is all collectability and ethereal reduction stuff. This is stuff that's all from the live letter also, where they mention like getting rid of the ranking system for collectibles, so that way it's just the higher the collectability, the better the result. I wonder how that's going to affect the market, though. I'm a little concerned. I'm always concerned about these changes and how markets fall and die. Like after desynthesis, what happened, and how there's like 1 or 2 items in the game you can make money off of now from that. I always look at these things and I wonder, how much did they consider making it easier for players versus how it actually affects their economy?
Yeah.
So I just don't know where that's going to go. And that's something I always find interesting. Ephemeral Nodes, there's now 3 for every level range, and there's elemental crystals are guaranteed. Chance of clusters are going to be there as well. So then we go into ocean fishing, because this is a big gathering section. They don't really explain the voyage missions any more than we get bonus points, which I don't know. Yeah.
What the fuck is the point?
The point is that so a lot of these changes look geared at if ocean fishing is not popular at a time, somebody can still do it and complete like at least the basic things from it, because this will add to your point total. So meeting those old point checks that people were doing will be easier. That's the same with some of these spectral current changes. If you don't get a current, you're way more likely to get a current in the next spot.
That's a really good quality of life right there. And you probably had the same issue when you were about like maybe 40 seconds out, and then you hit a fucking rainbow, and then like you can do nothing. Like at 30 seconds, it caps you off.
Yeah, I will say this though, there is a concern because those two changes kind of collide with each other, because if you don't get one, you're more likely to get one later. If you get one and it gets cut off, if you get another one, it'll be extended. But what if it just happens again? Yeah. What if you just like you get it and then at the end of the next one it happens again, and now it's happened thrice, you know?
They had to factor it in.
I mean, we say that and we don't know that. It's one of those systems where it could still come.
I would like to think that that's already that's already anticipated as an unintended consequence and dealt with on the if-then statements.
I'm just saying that it would have also made sense that if it gets cut off like that the next route also has a higher chance. Like that should be something that's listed here, especially if you guys are implying you'd think they would have thought that through. But that's nothing like that stated here. So that's my only concern with that specific change. Now, this was the biggest troll of the whole patch note for me, the melding section, because there's just showing off the bulk melding. And I looked at that and I saw, why the fuck does he only have a 2% chance of succeeding? When the fuck did that happen? And then I realized it was NQ gear, and that's why.
It was NQ.
Don't ever use NQ. Nobody melds NQ gear, guys. Don't do your screenshots. That's a terrible
fucking example. That is the worst fucking example.
Don't do this. Don't ever use NQ gear for melding examples ever again, because you gave me a goddamn heart attack. All right,
you're setting a horrible precedent. Stop. Get some help.
I just watched Yoshi P do it with the HQ odds. I should have known better, but I didn't, and that scared the shit. I saw it and I lost my mind, and I was ready to cry, because I've got thousands of materia ready to go, and I'd like to keep it at thousands after I'm done. Okay.
Nah, you'll have like 200 when
you're about to get rocked, brother.
I get it, because materia. Yeah, I get it. There you go. Then we saw the Emerald Weapon mount. We see the Emerald Weapon barding. We see the new minions.
Oh, that mount looks sweet.
It looks so good.
It's a pretty good looking. So one big thing they've done with the Durgans for this one is they all, after the first 3. The 2 that came after Ruby and SOS, they have very distinct changes to their models that aren't just like a mask change or anything like that. If you go and actually look at them, they have the detail on them is a lot better, and this kind of shines. The Emerald Weapon Dragon especially, the details are way more noticeable than on most of them.
That looks fantastic.
The barding also looks good. Still doesn't beat some of the old bardings that I have, but whatever. We see the minions.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of the barding.
Yeah, I'm not a super big fan.
It's okay.
I like the Ruby barding better. Personally, but I mean, I like the Ravana barding the most. Still, after all these years, the Ravana barding is still Top tier for me.
Like for me, it's the Yojimbo boarding.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. I'll give you that. Then we also have the minions. The Ligiawa. So the one on the left is Matoya's Relic. The one on the right, I'm thinking is submarines. It's voyages.
Voyages?
Yeah, because Ligia is, we have a golden beaver from Ligia, and there's probably another one from Ligia. So I'm thinking that's because they always update like submersibles and add new routes and stuff. So I think that's just the submersible one right there from the submarines that everyone loves so much and talks about how great a feature it is. You know.
Yeah, and it looks like a submersible.
It looks like Lapras.
Yeah.
That's Lapras. Or Nessie, I guess. Well, Lapras is based off the Loch Ness Monster, so.
Yeah.
Fucking angel wings. I'm moving on. Anyway. I'm moving on.
Who was asking for these? Like
a lot of people.
Okay.
Hey, you can be angels now. Yay.
A
Woo.
lot of people I know a lot of people were asking. You know how many? But the thing is, people wanted wings as a mount, not just like this. They wanted like Ion, like wings as mounts.
Well, in Ion it was gliding, but
they don't care.
With the exception of the PvP and stuff. But whatever.
No, I don't need you to light any more cigarettes. Don't bring that up.
I was like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, wings. Wow, they are really sitting here talking about wings on that live letter. Wow, they are still talking about wings. They are still talking about wings.
Yeah, I'd rather get jet boots as a mount and just full Iron Man that shit. There you go. If I'm going to get anything that's like not a mount, I want it to be that. I'll take that.
Flying turtles. Get out of here with your logic. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, but Gamora can. Gamora's is Guardians of the Galaxy. What's the name of the damn turtle from Godzilla?
Oh, geez, my mom would know. She's a Godzilla fan. I'm not. I know Mothra, and that's it.
It's Gamera. Okay, there you go. I was close.
Is it Gamera?
Off by a vowel. I don't know.
Is Gamera the turtle?
Yeah, there you go. Spinning turtle. Yeah, I couldn't remember. Gamora is the wrong vowel. She's a green alien. Different from a giant spinning flying turtle. There you go. Why is Gamora?
Yeah. Species turtle, ability flight. Good call.
There you go. No, why is Gamera in this case? All right. Then we have the Explorer mode, which they just show off real quick. They go over all the same things from the live letter. They have limit breaks, training dummies, teleports between. Just gonna be a good content creation thing for people.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, as somebody who does like, even on my other channel, we don't do like guides and stuff like that, but you do. Does this come in handy? Okay, for machinima and like fun stuff. Yeah, great. I could see this. Does this come in handy for you as a guides producer?
Yes.
Like being able to go in and not have to worry about the fight? Because that's kind of where my mind went. Like if I was creating guides, this would be nifty to be able to spotlight certain locations in a room or in the arena or whatever without having to pause a video with a lot going on in it. Does it actually do what I think it would do in my head if I was making a strategy guide?
One of the biggest
things, actually do make them.
One of the biggest things that I think is missing from the game for that is a lot of the times you see like people make charts or they make like graphs and they just draw like a random circle. Yeah, they just they do like just a like a perfect circle to hold, shift, drag, and that's their arena for the sake of their graph. Being able to take a top-down screenshot from a wide enough view from far enough back, and then take a screenshot of the room and then just use that would be far. You can't get a big enough angle here without hacking. Is the problem? The camera doesn't go far enough back. That's the one next step I want to see with this because. That's good for dungeons. It would be great for raids. You can do it at the end of a raid, technically. Like, you can take a screenshot, kind of, but you still can't get the camera to go far enough back.
Yeah, you're limited because you're still in battle mode.
Yeah. But even that, the camera just doesn't go far enough back in the game. So if they can do that, if they can unlock the camera, or if the duty recorder just was less shit, any of these things would probably assist in some degree. I think it'll still help a little bit, but the thing, I think it's really going to be, like, I'm going to use it for, like, talking about jobs, because there's plenty of times where I want to hit a striking dummy, but I don't want to go to my house, and I don't want to, or Mel's house, I guess, because I don't have any ownership over that thing. I'm a guest. House or like bent branch, or like I have to try to find a place where there just happens to be nobody going through there at the time, nobody else using the dummy. If I can just go into a dungeon, slap a dummy down, and like use it as an example.
And then as a content creator, you have all your videos looking very similar when you do that. It's like every video you do visually, entertainment wise, looks the same. And that's kind of where my mind went. And I was like, I meant to ask you this privately, but since we're talking about it here, because in my mind I was like, you know what, if I was still making boss fight guides and things like this, I think I could really use this to great degree to make just things that would visually be represented by a drawing more visually entertaining, which is always what you're looking for, or part of what you're looking for as a content creator.
The biggest thing is that
then again, people learn a different type of way.
But the biggest thing is it's only for basic, super easy 4-man dungeons, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah, right now. I have a feeling that this is going to open up, but right now,
If they
only
open
for
it up
shadow,
to even,
and only for Shadowbringers too, right now.
Even if they were to just open it up for like those basic circular, square, rectangle arenas from various boss fights, if they open it up to that, it becomes a lot more useful. Only if it's, but mostly only if it's for the current relevant patch. But at the very least, it's still better if they would open it up to more and more things that aren't just the 4-man dungeons. For now, only Shadowbringers dungeons. They say more stuff in the future, but they've only been talking about dungeons thus far. Or just make the duty recorder good instead of what it is.
Okay, actually, I'll take this a step further. Habs, what do you think of like something like this, but being able to kind of treat it like a, I guess, training ground, I guess? Like being able to, like, you would be able to give yourself, you go in with 8 people and it's just a square or a rectangular circle, whatever arena, and you want to practice Nisi, so you can give yourself Nisi and, shit like that.
So it's funny you mentioned that because we actually have spots where we do that already. Turn 4 is a big one because you can go in without there being a boss until you touch the thing. There's also a spot in Gridania. I think it might be in the Gridania housing area, where it's also a very popular spot for people to practice stuff like that. More places to do it would be great, but again, unless you can do it in the arena that you're actually practicing the fight in, it loses a little bit of value, because practicing in any generic circle is one thing, but I know me personally, when I'm progressing a fight, I don't just remember that I'm looking at a circle. I remember like things on the ground, like little markers on the ground, the designs. I use those as ways to
tile
memorize.
intersection points, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's one thing to practice in a circle in theory. It's another thing to practice at least in an empty version of the arena that you're used to fighting in. So being able to put the ground marks exactly where they'll be, where you have the saved ground markers that we have now in the arena that you're used to having them in. So that would be another step in a direction that I think a lot of people would appreciate, especially in Ultimates, which are super long and have phases that take 10, 11, 12 minutes to be able to go to those arenas and at least just put down markers and do that with nothing else. No boss mechanics, no anything, just that. I think would be of incredible use to a lot of people. So hopefully next steps.
I wasn't out of my mind then.
No, absolutely not. I think a lot of people went to the same place you went with that. It just makes sense. It's like a logical conclusion point. I think, at the very least.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the next thing Sly put notes down for, classic mode. I'm a big fan. I don't like light mode. I think light mode's fucking hideous, and I think there's only 2 types of people in this world. People who use dark mode, and people don't know that there's a better life out there. But I'll take classic mode because it gives me some nostalgia.
What the fuck is wrong with y'all in light mode? What problems? Y'all put fucking raisins in your potato salad. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, God, every time I had light mode up, so I switch it back. It looks terrible. Yet we asked for
I didn't ask for shit. I hated.
You may not have.
I hated when we got the PvP UI and it was light mode, because that was the thing. PvP was, oh no, don't light the cigarette. I didn't say light the cigarette. I said light mode. Relax. There you go.
Y'all got problems.
Relax.
Y'all got issues.
I'm gonna use class.
Okay.
I'm gonna use it as well.
We dodged that one. Okay.
I love it.
I hate light mode. I think it's ugly, and I think all light modes are ugly in everything in life.
Celestial. Anybody who uses light
Can I
mode
see?
is
Is there a dark mode for
psychopath.
Gmail? Asking, is there a dark mode for Gmail? I've never actually looked, but if there is, I'm
Is
changing.
this
to it.
asking for a friend?
Asking for me, but I'm asking right now.
I just have my own background.
Yes. Okay,
Yes.
I'm turning it
Uh,
on.
Yes, there you
I'm
go.
finding it right now. Okay. Oh, here it is. I actually found it. That did not take too long at all. If I had ever clicked this menu, it would have been fine. No, that actually just. Oh, that's because I got to click see also. Yeah, I gotta get rid of all the light modes that I have in favor of the superior modes. Dark mode conversion, smart reply. Where the fuck is? There's too many options here. I'll find it later. All right, there you go. I need it. Yeah, I need dark mode for Google. I need dark mode for everything, or classic mode for everything. If I had classic mode for Gmail, that would be
Hey,
horrible.
Can
Actually,
we get a classic mode? No, seriously. Oh my god. I said, "Hey Google," and my phone just chimed.
Oops. Yeah. No, seriously, you were saying?
Oh no, I thought I was just going to use classic mode, and I wish Google would make a classic mode.
I'm ready for that. Yeah, I'm gonna use it. I think it looks okay. At least it's not light mode. That's the only really real solace I have, is that it's not light mode. We also get a little bit of a sneak peek at 5.45 here, in that we see what it'll look like to have a 48 player party finder
Party
list.
finders, yeah.
That is nutso. The appearance of the HUD in public areas after joining an alliance has been adjusted to that. And we know there's going to be the ability for Deliberum to do a 48-person party finder, which is pretty cool. That opens up possibilities for other things in the future, as far as I'm concerned. If they want to, which who knows if they will. We have to see how Deliberum does first. We get an extra... Think about this. We actually are, for the first time ever, in an even-numbered patch, getting a 24-player raid.
Is it really the first ever?
I'm pretty sure. What else would we have had? Oh, Eureka has released an even numbered patches, but that's not... Baldesion was still 40, was 56 players, and that was an odd-numbered patch. This is the first time we'll ever have a 24-man raid unlocked in an even... Oh, a new one. A brand new one that's also not part of the 24-man raid series. That's part of an even-numbered patch. So it's very, very different conceptually, release window-wise, from what we're used to after all these years.
And it still counts, even though it's not.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't have...
Point X5.
Yeah. It's still even-numbered patch at the end of the day.
It still counts.
So, I'm excited. I can't wait for Deliberum. I don't think emergency missions was also 0.5 from Diadem specifically. That was 0.1 and 0.5. So even that's the next closest thing would have been the emergency mission, and that was only 0.5 for the ERs or for the EMs. So, yeah, we've.
Do you think this is going to do well?
I think the normal mode will do. I think. Here's the thing.
No. I mean the 48-player Savage.
Okay, it depends, and I say
for the
that
people it's advertised towards.
Yeah. So here's the big thing. If it is just Baldesion Arsenal, it will do quite well. If it's more difficult than that, it'll do... The more difficult it is, the less well it will do. That's just how content works in general. The harder it is, the less people approach it. The fact that it's called Savage is going to scare people at first. So it's going to have pretty low. But Baldesion had the same problem. People were afraid to do it at first.
Yeah.
But now I look at how much work the Baldesion Arsenal Discords have done, making it accessible, explaining it to people, presenting resources, doing the work of actually gathering people, creating Discord bots that allow them to set queue timers and send automatic notifications. Like, the amount of work that's been done is insane.
That's kind of where my question is coming from, though. Any feature in an MMO that requires that much work on the community's part to validate and make possible, I worry about the long-term validity of that piece of content.
See,
and when you start talking about 40-person content anymore, to be honest, that in and of itself is a relic of MMO's past. It just isn't something that, those big 40-person events or raids or fights or whatever, that is just a relic of MMO past. WildStar, for all of its other faults, I'm not saying this is the only reason it had challenges, but that is no longer something that a lot of people do. And I'm not saying nobody's going to do it. You know, BA did have its time, but if the community, the very small community that was really about that content, didn't go out of their way to make sure they educated, that everything you just pointed out, that is a lot of onus, I think, to put on your community to make something a valid piece of content that I don't feel like the community is always going to be willing to do every single time you do it. So it's just kind of a general question. Like, do you think it's gonna? And that's where I was coming from.
So I would share your concern, if not for how much so you said BA had its time. BA's time is still there. It still gets run multiple times a week across every data center. It is coordinated. It is inviting to new players, and then they do fun stuff. Like they say, oh, this Saturday we'll do an all healer run, and then we'll have, only allowed to use double edge. Every DPS has to use double edge counter. My actual concern is how much of the 48 people are required. That's going to me, determine more so. Is it you need 48 or you cannot do it? Because that's what's implied. And if they don't ever lift that restriction, that will be a problem, I foresee. Because BA, people will go in with 24, 30, 36, 40. They don't look for 54 people or 56 people every time. So that is my only concern. But I think it'll be still relatively successful. What it might mean is that the runs are planned more in advance. There's a lot of impromptu Baldessians where people just go, I'm going to host one in an hour. And then they get, 30 people and they go. And it's fine. So that's, I think it'll be okay. But I think at some point, if the 48 player part of it is 100% a requirement, that's likely to be more damning.
Or that being the player count being the problem, or the fact that you have to queue for it being a problem. I see both of those.
The fact that if you can only queue if you are a full 48 is the only problem that I foresee.
Even if they change, let's say they drop it in the future from 48 to 36, or
I just think it should be like BA and not have a total.
I still think that having to queue for it rather than just having that's going on, let me go and take part in that, I think that's a little bit of a drawback too.
I would agree if not for what happened to Castrum, because Castrum now people go, fuck it. That's the truth. People see Castrum and they're like, nope, not gonna bother. If you're queuing into Delibram, you've made the decision to do it.
Yeah.
When you're in Bosnia, you can at any point make a decision to not do any of the things that are there. You don't have to show up to critical engagements. You don't have to show up to... You don't have to qualify for the duels. You don't have to accept the duels. You don't have to accept Castrum. That's why Castrum's having a problem right now. It's because people are still just doing other things on the map. Castrum doesn't pull all of your attentions. It requires more coordination, and it just pulls you away from these other things that could be more rewarding. There's no experience points from Castrum. The amount of coins you get elsewhere is comparable to the time investment, with less stress and more ability to step away, take a break. It basically pulls all the things you have advantageous to you in the rest of Bosnia and pulls it away. And Delibram isn't that. You're not like in the middle of something, you go, oh shit, Delibram popped. Whatever, I'm not going to go do it. If you're deciding to go do it, you've likely joined one of these Discords. You've likely joined a party finder. You've committed to the idea of doing it. You're going in for the sake of doing that content.
Yeah.
So there's... I am worried about reward structure.
I'm interested. Yeah, well, because Ozma is a huge reason why people still do BA. Not BA.
No, you were right. BA. That was right.
Oh, yeah. BA.
You're right.
So... But this is one I'm going to be watching just out of curiosity, just as like an MMO historian and content dude and stuff. This is I'm going to watch how this unfolds, just like how BA unfolded. So
yeah, it's just BA again. I can't stress enough how well organized the BA Discords are and how they've kept that content something you could reliably do on any given day. They have weekly schedules of like when people are hosting runs, and you can sign up in advance, or you can just show up and hope you get in. Like, there's all sorts of systems in place, and they have done.
I just worry about pieces of content that are that dependent on the community keeping them relevant or even doable.
Yeah, I would be if just not for BA. If the BA
at any given point, at any given point, that portion of the community can go away or have a big strike happen against it, and a bunch of key people leave, and then things become weird. So definitely one I'll be watching. I just wanted to get your take. Like, do you think this is going to do well or not? And I am 100% with you. Reward structure is going to play a huge part here.
Yeah. Well, I think for Savage people, they said they're Savage exclusive stuff. That's enough to get people. That was enough to, like, Ozma mount for BA. That was enough to get people to go do BA. On top of that, I'm not gonna lie, I made money in BA. Even to this day, I can still. Eureka money is unfathomably good compared to Bazia money. I can just do bunny chests, and they're worth the bronze chest just give you 10k gil. The worst chest imaginable is 10k gil before even the items. You go into BA, you get a minion, you get anything from there that isn't fragments, you're probably making money. So I'm hoping that Deliberum Savage has some degree of that. It isn't just I'm walking away with a title and that's all. Yeah, so we'll see. But they said there were rewards, and I'm hoping that amount is one of them, just like Ozma, so I can have it and be excited about it. Then they move in. Now, this was a change. Sly, I'm glad you made note of this. The duty roulette. They're taking the word duty roulette, kind of like in the same thing with the Roenus tokens, out of all the duty roulette. So, like, it's in the duty roulette category. You don't need to also know it's another duty roulette.
Yeah, when are we changing level 50, 60, 70, by the way? While we're on the subject of changing these names around a little bit and getting rid of redundancy, let's get that one out of there.
Just relax. You're asking for too much. You need to stop. All right?
Me and my text changes. Yeah. That's all I asked for.
It's too much, man. You can't have it. You got to pick text changes or hats for Viera. You can only have one.
Do you want us to fix text, or do you want us to put in content? All right, I guess go with the content.
Oh, man. Another thing that I forgot from the first live letter is the role in need in there. We saw that in the first live letter. I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, same.
It's just much neater.
And that's probably why they're able to put that in, was because of the name change.
I think that's why they did the name change, so they could put that in. Yeah. I don't think it was like we can, and so I think they deliberately changed it so that they could. Yeah, I knew you would get a kick out of that.
I just happened to be toggling out of the notes there in time to see that one. That's good. Yeah. We are changing it soon to 50, 60, 70, 80.
There's not really much a better name for them, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. It's, I don't know.
You just have like level 80 dungeons, sub-level 80
But
dungeons.
then that would imply 79
Level 90
also.
Dungeons, sub-level 90 dungeons.
I don't think that's any better.
It's better than... What are you guys doing? Oh, I'm doing 50, 60, 70, 80
50-80. No, because 50-80 implies 51, 55. Like, it implies all the numbers in between is the problem. That's why it is. Maybe just get rid of the word level. Fuck it. They know what they got. They know what they got themselves
Level 80
into.
dungeons, other boring shit.
Yeah, there you go. Other stuff. Then they have this community page thing on the like top right. Like, it sends you to the Lodestone page for community, the new community finder. Bro, I listen. Good idea.
It's a good thing, I promise you. I promise you.
You're like trying to sell this in the notes.
But I mean, it's so...
If you've seen some of the community pages, like the people who actually utilize them well, and I'm guessing you're probably pointing this out more to North America than anybody else.
Yeah, that's the only place I'm really worried about it. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so from what I've seen from the North American community pages is, I mean, fuck, I don't even call it almost wholesome. It is fucking wholesome, like how they use it. So you have.
I mean, there are always great ways to use things.
I fucking promise.
There's always great ways to use things. I just don't trust people. People are like a big problem, you know?
You're like me then. Yeah, okay.
People suck, but I need 47 of them to go with me.
I always said this job would be great if not for the customers.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, if you look at the pages, like have you two seen the community pages?
I've seen great community pages. I've seen them tweeted about and whatnot. I'm not saying they can't be good. I'm not saying people don't put in good work. I'm saying I'm worried that people ruin it. That's it. Not those
So
people, just people.
You ascribe to the this is why we can't have nice things.
I definitely do.
Yeah.
The motherfuckers took away my chatting options in PvP. I can't even talk anymore. I gotta click quick buttons. I'm not. No. Here, have this instead. There you go. There you go. I'll save you from one vice and give you another. And then the rest is just the few remaining things. You know, like there's the sticker mode getting updated and a few different quality of lives to that, and search recipe, quality of life, search for item, quality of life. All the emotes. My favorite, somebody made this joke in my chat. So the very last one is /fake smile. And someone was like, I
Which
see.
has been getting a lot of memeage.
Yeah, somebody in my chat was like, oh, so that's what Anotman's going to do. It's just going to do /fake smile. And I was like, yeah, that's going to be every month. They're going to press Anotman and they're just going to be like, smiley face. And that's it. That's all they're going to do. And that's it. And then, so that's pretty much where the notes end. Then it's like, there's new music, there's new auto translations, whatnot. We have to wait for the full notes for things like job changes, resolved issues, known issues. Normally there's a few extra little things.
Recipes.
Yeah, well, recipes, they only tell us there's new recipes. They don't even, they still don't
with the crafted gear recipes is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, they don't even put those in the full, they like put those in the full notes like a day after the patch comes out or something.
Yep.
It's like way later. So you can't even do anything with that. And then, of course, we have to remember that there's still 0.41, there's still 0.45, which at the top they, let you know that those are, coming down the line. Ishgard Restoration, Blue Mage, Blades of Gunhildr, Resistance Weapons, Skysteel Tools. Those are all going to have patch notes and discussions and things like that in the future, because there's probably going to be a lot to unpack with some of those, especially this being the last Ishgard Restoration. It's the last one.
Yeah.
Well, the last tallying period. There's probably still follow-up.
Giant frying pans on all servers.
Hap said the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Mass coordination.
I want to see a fucking Alembic.
Too bad.
Let's fucking go, boys.
Nope. Frying pans everywhere.
Alembic. Need us alchemy. Need us Full Metal Alchemist.
I need burgers.
Frying pans.
Go. Get me my frying pans. I'm not going to help you get them. Not a chance in hell. But make sure it's frying pans. All right? It can't be a fishing rod because gatherers aren't allowed.
Nope.
And if they were allowed, it would be fishing rods on every server. I can promise you that.
It really would.
Absolutely.
That wouldn't even be close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
That's not even fair. Not even fucking comparable to the other ones. But with that, I think we've covered all the patch notes, unless there was something in there that we glossed over that you guys thought we needed to go back and touch up upon.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
All right, perfect. Well, on that note, Byrne, thanks for joining us 5 minutes before the show started for this episode.
Oh, no, my pleasure. It's always good to be here with you.
Think about this. You have set a new record of being the person I've given the least amount of heads up for to be on a show.
Yes.
You now hold that, and somebody's going to have to show up at 3:58 p.m. Pacific, and that conversation's going to have to happen again. It's the only way anyone beats that record. There's a very narrow margin for success there.
I aim for the top.
And you got it, which is ironic because your camera is on the bottom right now. So, yeah. You're not one day we'll flip it, and it'll be okay. All right.
Aw.
There you go.
World first, yeah.
And I mean, we'll flip the cameras upside down too. So that'll just the whole show will be upside down one day. Maybe for April Fool's.
You are a content creator, always looking for a way to keep things visually interesting for the audience.
Yeah, April 1st. I'll just flip the whole. Yeah, that's what a great joke. What a great April Fool's joke. What? Oh, we'll have an Australia stream on April 1st, and we'll do the whole show upside down. There we go.
God. Don't do it. Don't do it.
That's it.
So that's been Stay of the Realm, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Haps, we have sponsors, right?
Yeah, we do. We mentioned SteelSeries at the start of the show. They were sponsoring us at the start of the show. They're actually, believe it or not, after all that, still sponsoring us by the end of the show. So that's a big surprise. But, we made it. We're good. Discount code 12%. Enter the giveaway under the YouTube video. make sure you do it. Support the sponsor. Also, thank you to our patrons whose names, again, have been scrolling in the top right pretty much this whole time. This year's been kind of rough, so if you see a name up there and you're like, I'm not supposed to be on there anymore, we're leaving everyone this year on that list because it's been a hell of a year for a lot of people, and we're not going to take people off who, are looking out for themselves.
Almost through.
We're almost through. I said that in 2019 too, Sly. I'm not that optimistic just yet. I said 2019 was terrible. How could it get any worse? You know what? Not going to say that this year. I'm just going to let time flow. Because I'm not tempting fate again. So
better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry. I'd rather not be held accountable for a bad 2021. So thank you to all those people whose names are scrolling in the top right. Thank you to our patrons of darkness, Khuja, Janova, and Kurenai Oni. Thank you to both of them for going above and beyond. And hopefully you guys will continue to enjoy State of the Realm when we are doing shows and not doing shows. Question before we end the show, Sly, while I have you here. Are we taking off any week in December? Do you need to take off any week? Because I know Christmas is obviously, right around the corner. New Year's right around the corner, of course. So while I have you on the show, might as well do it here instead of talking about it privately and then having to tweet about it so more people can not hear it and see it. And then we'll have to say it again anyway.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to do a show Krim a week?
I can do whatever. Sly, I have no soul, so I can do whatever.
Of course you have a soul. Shut up. Yeah, if it's on Tuesday on Christmas week, I'm fine.
That's what I was thinking. That's the only way is it's Tuesday both of those weeks because that's 22nd and 29th, and it's well away from Hangover or Krima.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if we can manage a Tuesday show, we'll do it those weeks.
Yeah.
If not, we will cancel a week and or 2 weeks, and that'll just mean we get to do Air Zivvy after the New Year.
Hooray.
Hooray. All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we need to sign off so Sly can go to Allure and Byrne can do the show, his broadcast that was delayed 2 hours because he agreed to be on here. So why don't you tell him a little bit about that since you're here and you were supposed to be there for the last 2 hours?
Yeah, I hope that everybody will come and check it out. So we talked about it the last time that we were together, and it was just getting behind the scenes started. But now Ready Check Radio is officially up. So if you like this type of podcast presentation, we have 3 different shows. One is Square Enix and Final Fantasy XIV related, called The Relic Grind. One is World of Warcraft / Blizzard related, called Snowbound. And then we finish the week every Saturday evening with Gaming Gumbo, which is kind of a general weekly wrap up. And in addition to those 3 shows, myself and a team of different streamers stream at all different hours, steady times. So if you have a favorite streamer, you can always catch them at a certain time. The channel has been live now for, we've got 7 episodes of The Relic Grind and 6 episodes of Snowbound and 2 or 3 of Gaming Gumbo now. So all of our shows are, may I put a link in chat? Am I allowed to do that?
No, you're here. Shut up.
No, I didn't know if it was going to bar me from doing it. That's it. Ready Check Radio. There's our emote. So somebody, or our very first emote right there. So come on over, check it out. You can get the entire schedule. You can catch up on all the shows. They're on Spotify. Just go to the website there. All the socials will get you to following everything. So check it out. We could really appreciate the support, the follows, the views, and all that stuff as we get launched. When we do hit 500 followers on Twitch, we already have scheduled. I know Haps is a fan of the Spicies. We will be doing this. 3 of us will each be eating one of these.
I have one of those. I think it might be stale by now.
In no drinks, we will attempt to complete as many Rocket League 3s matches as we can upon eating those. So whenever we hit 500 followers on Twitch, we'll go ahead and cue that stream up. But yeah, come check it out. I hope you enjoy it. And Haps, of course, thank you for allowing me to plug.
Of course. Aloha.
Well, both of these gentlemen will be making guest spot appearances on Relic Grind too. I'm not going to have them on the same day, because then it'll just be another State of the Realm for them that week. But we're gonna.
We've done it before anyway. We've done it for others.
Already hit them up before we were even live. To hey, you're gonna be guests, but we're establishing my co-host right now. So look for that in like early 2021, having Sly and Haps on shows. So yeah, come hang out, and I'm gonna go stream Immortals Phoenix Rising after this.
Good. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Ow, I don't have pants on. You can't kick off my legs like that. Oh, hurts. I got scratches everywhere. All right. Sly, what are you up to? Where can they find you at? What's the plan?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Sly, aka Gray Fox. You can find me on Twitter at Sly the Fox. Well, next week's already set in stone, and it's already gonna be Hell Week, pretty much. But tomorrow's first Saturday is the first Saturday of the month, and every first Saturday we chill at the FC house. But this time, we're doing something a little bit different. Something for Starlight/Krima. So if you're on Primal, line starts officially at 7, but some people are fucking crazy and get there like 4 for no fucking reason. But get there whenever you can. Doors open at 8. Just gonna have a good time. Hang out, listen to some city pop. Just have a good time. Little Krima Starlight cheer. We decorated the place. We actually bought decorations, and now I get to store them after the fact. So we'll be ready next year. But yeah, definitely come by tomorrow if you're on Primal. We'd love to have you. Other than that, yeah, like everybody, patch 5.4 next week, and then I have to work in fucking Cyberpunk because that's all also out. And yeah, I'm just not gonna sleep. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna sleep. I'll do that anyway. So yeah, that's what's going on. So yeah, doing all the things. Haps, what are you doing?
I'm doing 5.4, and that's all I'm going to be doing because I don't have time for anything else when you're doing 16-hour-a-day rates. And you have a bunch of videos to release, and you're still playing Genshin, and Dauntless update just hit, so that's free, so I can just log into that and not have to pay money to...
We ain't sleeping.
Yeah, because I would love to be playing Immortals Phoenix
I haven't
Rising.
played. I saw you tweeted that the Dauntless update is fire. We covered it on the free-to-play cast over on MMO Bomb today, but I haven't personally played it. So you're enjoying the whole Reforged redoing?
Yes.
I sure am. Although I did make the mistake of prestiging my weapon and then immediately going into the hardest content and forgetting that when you prestige, you go back to level 1 on the weapon.
Oh, so you went into escalation?
No, I went into the level 20 island.
Yeah.
Now, it's funny because the level 20 island has an event where any hit you take, if you're in the event, will kill you no matter what. That was just my whole experience because everything killed me in one hit. So when you're level 1 and you go up against level 20s, it doesn't work so great.
Yeah.
But it's otherwise working fantastically and is, I think, a huge improvement to Dauntless overall. Now they just need more weapons. Still their biggest weak point is they need more weapons. That'll until further notice. That'll be the biggest weak point. But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Axe exotic.
Yeah, just the Nasher axe. Yeah, the one that they leaked like a year and a half ago on the official stream. They're like, "Did we announce that yet?" Oh,
yeah.
Well, so you guys know that's happening now. That was a great.
And it hasn't shown up yet.
Hasn't shown up. Still isn't there. It's all right. We got legendaries.
One thing I asked for.
Just get the legendary axes, man. They're in the hunting grounds and in escalations, you can use the active ability 1,000,000 times because it resets every time you kill a behemoth. It's great. Get the legendary ones. They're really good. All right. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into a very short post show so these gentlemen can get on with their evenings and I can go do some cooking. So thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you tentatively next Friday if I'm not raiding still. That's a maybe. I'll keep you up to date on that, Sly. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out, and we'll see you next week. Until then, bye-bye.
See you next week.